my team.
My name is Surya roll number 39.
My name is Sai Sandra. I am a roll 36.
Hello everyone, I am Jake, class roll number 37.
We are present over here to express our views on depression and other mental illness in teen.
Use the mic.
Hearing about the topic, the first question that might have arisen in your mind is what the term depression exactly means. So, according to WHO, depression is a common mental disorder that affects how people think, feel, and act. Depression can be characterized by persistent sadness, lack of interest in the activities that were earlier enjoyable, lack of appetite, poor concentrations, and many more. According to recent reports, about 56 million, that is 4.5% of Indians suffer from depression, and another 38%, that is 3.5% of Indians suffer from other mental related disorder, and it's rising day by day, which is needed to be looked after at the earliest.
Depression comes in many different forms and affects each person in different ways. First is major depressive disorder. A person who remains depressed most of the time or most of the days in a week is suffering from major depressive disorder. Persistent depressive disorder. If a person suffering from depression that lasts for 2 years or longer than that, then he is suffering from persistent depressive disorder. Psychotic depression. People with psychotic depression have the symptoms of major depression along with psychotic symptoms such as hallucinations and paranoia. Treatment-resistant depression. In this type of depression, if the person has been treated for depression but the symptoms have not improved, then it is known as treatment-resistant depression.
So, what are the causes of depression? As we can see, the causes for first main cause is depression due to genetics. If the ancestors are having genetics problem, in their genetics they have depression problem, then the next generation can have the depression. So it is a major issue. So we have to take care of it. The next is brain chemistry imbalance. Brain chemistry imbalance occurs due to the decrease in the chemical signals transmitted by the neurons. So how does it work? Between the two neurons there is a chemical signals called neurotransmitters. These neurotransmitters such as dopamine and serotonin. So increase and decrease in the level of these chemical signals can cause depression. Next is poor nutrition. Nutritional deficiencies. Nutrition deficiency occurs due to the lack of healthy food, and eating junk food can cause also deficiencies. And some lack in the minerals and vitamins and omega-3 fatty acid can cause depression. Next is physical health issue. If a person having some major chronic diseases such as diabetes, cancer, tuberculosis, then they can have depression due to long-term effect. And the next is drugs. Drugs is a major issue which is common in popular in youngster. We can take the example of few celebrities like Sanjay Dutt and Honey Singh. They have gone through this phase of drugs, and they have consumed it which affect their personal career and affected their professional career as well. So we should avoid it, and we should limit the consumption of drugs, alcohol and tobacco in the youngster, so that we can focus in our career and be productive in our life. The next is stress. In nowadays, stress is occurring in most of the teenagers due to study for higher studies, for not getting a job is also a major cause of depression.
depression due to body image. Now I would like to ask all of you, how many of you are happy with your looks?
No one is
Like I
depressed.
can see, not all, many are not.
Yes.
Teams of all shape and size can be a victim of body shaming. So we should embrace ourselves as we are, as our identification lies in our uniqueness. Depression due to relationship. These days, many teens are falling into relationship. Without having a proper understanding of relationship, they fall into a relationship, and which they end them up into toxic relationship, and they become a prey of depression.
Now, I will talk about consciousness of depression. Social isolation. Having few people to interact with regularly can lead to social isolation, and you can live alone and not feel lonely, and not feel lonely in isolated, and feels lonely while being with other people. WHO declares social isolation is the main threat, and people without enough.
When did you use that? I think few days before that feeling lonely is a serious disease. What feel is
People without enough strong social connections are higher risk of stroke, anxiety, anemia, and depression, and suicidal diseases. And socialization also has a big impact on physical and mental health. Lack of relationship with others and no social support or contact
Oh, read it out.
social isolation.
present it. You're just reading out from the paper. Yes.
Social isolation causes unemployment, which refers to you are not feeling like with no friends or with no family members you will interact, and loneliness. And social isolation mainly causes loneliness. And coming to decreased productivity. Nowadays, lack of negative environment in the IT companies are very likely to popular. Means the employees are not very efficient to their work because of their negative environment. So,
Suicidal thoughts and actions. Suicidal thoughts in teens refers to the thoughts about ending one's life. Factors like mental illness, family issues, and bullying affects them. It is a serious consequences both emotionally and physically. One should take immediate attention and support from mental health professionals, families, and other trusted individuals.
5 minutes more.
So now let us see what are the treatments of depression. The first is antidepressant medication. This is caused due to the change in the hormone level and the change in the neurotransmitter level. If we can maintain the balance of neurotransmitter in our nerve, then we can cure this depression. This is mostly prescribed by the doctors. Next is psychological counseling. Psychological counseling is the way in which we can communicate or we talk with the psychiatrist, psychologist. We can share our feelings, desire, thoughts, emotion to the psychiatrist, and psychiatrist can advise us how to behave, how to express our thoughts and feelings. The next is cognitive behavioral therapy. It is a type of psychotherapy which is focused on removing the negative thought process of our brain and implementing the positive thought process of our brain, which can be used to help to reduce the depression from our brain.
so I will talk about prevention, how to overcome depression. Family time and me time plays a very important role in overcoming depression. Like example, you take nowadays teenagers takes drugs and many such things that affects their mental health. Family time and me time plays a very crucial thing to overcome the addiction, like taking a drugs or alcohol. In teenagers nowadays they suffer from addiction. So with spending some time with family can overcome the addiction. And now, mantra chanting. It is a very powerful thing to overcome depression. In a day, if you do one time mantra chanting, it releases your stress and you feel relaxed. You can do mantra chanting in the night or in the early morning. The most powerful mantra chanting is Gayatri mantra. Now, playing games and listening music. Playing games like football or kabaddi or kho also releases the depression. Yoga and meditation. If you do yoga, all your stress will be released. And meditation, if you do meditation, your mind will be relaxed. Healthy food and delicious food. You should eat healthy foods every day and delicious foods twice a week or thrice a week, because delicious foods will increase your dopamine, which is very essential to overcome depression. Exploring nature and mountains. Once in the weekends, you can go and explore mountains, nature with your family, with your friends, and it also helps to overcome depression.
Now let's come to the conclusion. We come across what is depression, its types, its causes, its consequences, and how to overcome depression. Now I would like to add two things that we all as an individual can practice to keep depression at its peak. Firstly, we should spend time with ourselves. We should fall in love with ourselves. And secondly, we should give some time for spirituality. We all know India is a spiritual country. We should give some time for spirituality, and reading Bhagavad Gita can be a game changer. That's it. Thank you. Wish you a very happy Halloween.